Hi, hello all, good morning. Yeah, just a minute, let me unmute you all. Yeah,
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Achit.
morning. So, welcome back for the second class on Azure Data Engineering. Okay. Today, actually, we are going to, yesterday's we seen theoretically something about SQL part and prerequisite and some information, right? So, actual practical things, theoretical things, today onwards, we are going to start. Okay. So don't miss the initial classes. That's what always sincere request, because in the initial classes we used to discuss the basics. Those basics are really matter in advanced concepts, or when you deep dive, you will understand easily whatever we are discussing. Okay. So every day, definitely, even you are a SQL developer from many years, but definitely you will find out some insights, something new. Okay. So before going to see, as we discussed, SQL part is more we are discussing. Let us try to understand. Uh, Let us try to understand what is cloud, this basic part. Okay, and then we will move to SQL actually. So here theoretically only we will try to understand. Nothing is there. So maybe whoever is completely new try to understand. But what is cloud ultimately? Okay. So, for example, we will try to
Call a
discuss.
person.
Please mute. So, here, what is cloud? Very simple discussion. So, we will try to take one simple example actually. Nothing is there. So, here we are going to, for example, in your home, okay. This is a regular example I used to share for better understanding actually. So you are going to have some function. So you want to offer for 500 people, you want to offer a food. So for this party or function, if you want to offer food, what is the option actually? Food preparation options are what? So that is what here. Okay. So we have food preparation options, two things actually. One, you have to prepare the food at your home, and another thing is you have to give it to the catering people. So suppose if you are preparing the food at your home, so everything you have to manage, keep that in mind. So you have to bring the all grocery, all related things. Okay. You have to arrange the cook, you have to arrange the water, and all other required things you have to manage, and you have to make it run smoothly, and you have to manage this food prepared very well, tasty, quality, everything you have to ensure. So every headache you have to take care actually. So at our home, if you are preparing a food for a function or party, so you have to take care everything. That is one thing. Suppose if you give it to the catering people, so there is a catering company. So catering people, for example, they can able to cook 300 plus items, 300 plus dishes they can able to cook. And different category of items are there. So starters, okay, main course, drinks or veg, non-veg, biryanis, rice items. So like the different curries. So many category of items are there. But when you go them, you no need to take all the items actually. You might have already some menu. So for example, these are all the items they are able to cook. You have in your mind around 20 plus items you want to offer to your guest. So from there, whatever they are able to offer or whatever you need extra also, you can tell. So some list you are preparing and you are telling them. So only person should go to the catering people, and then you are telling your menu. Then you are telling your quantity, quality, what way you want. So basing on that, they are charging something, you are paying. So by the time party start or lunchtime or dinner time, they are delivering to you, then you are serving to the guest. So when this is option, you don't have any headache actually. Only you have to pay. So just pay for what they are serving. That's all. So you don't need to bother. You just concentrate on the party. So this is what something, two options we have actually, right? So now, similarly, for example, you have a organization or you have some e-commerce business or whatever that actually. So definitely you need to maintain software related things. So you need to maintain different hardware devices, different servers. Okay, hardware devices means you have to manage different software devices. You need to maintain networking. You need to maintain the people. Okay, so many things you are going to take care. So in your building actually, that is what in your premises, on premise. So you have some building in your premises, you are maintaining all these things. When all these things are working together and properly, then only your website is in functioning so that customers are seeing your website and purchasing this and that. So whatever, not only e-commerce or anything, you are going to take care at your premises. That is one option. So is there any option like catering actually? That is another thing. So that is what cloud you can say. So in the cloud, there are many options they are going services they are going to offer like many dishes. So they are all these people are also offering, for example, around 300 plus items. So that's all. Now your task is now, for example, data migration project only. Like how they are have a function here. So when you are doing data migration project, what are the services is required actually to do that task? One way, traditional ELT tools, databases, all the analytical tools you have to deploy in your places. Now come here. What service is required? Data Factory, SQL Server, Databricks, Logic App, Blob Storage, Data Lake. Like that, some of them you are creating. That means you are selecting, you are using. How much you are using, that much you are paying to the cloud people actually. So that's all the cloud. Instead of doing at your place, you are doing at some place actually. You know, you are not bothering about all the software, hardware related things actually. Okay, but keep that in mind always one thing that you are not cooking at your home. So behalf of you, somewhere it is cooking. Somewhere it is physically exist. Keep that in mind. So cloud is nothing but don't think that it is a completely virtual. Cloud is nothing but somewhere also they have their own centers. Throughout the world, they have their own centers in each country. So instead of installing in your own laptop, you are installing some piece of software at some place actually. That is very important. And that is running behalf of you. And they have many other policies. So like here, suppose two orders came from two different people, same curry they ordered. So they will prepare together and then they will divide it to both the people. So here also that such a kind of things are there, different policies so that make using efficiently. So cloud is nothing but something behalf of you working at some place and serving its results. That's all. So for example, what are the major cloud services actually right now available? So Azure is one of the cloud service, or AWS is one of the cloud service, or GCP is one of the cloud service. These are the major market shares. So like this, you have some other also. So in that, we selected the cloud Azure. That's all. Now if you move to the cloud Azure, so let me share you that screen. Just portal introduction only, nothing we are going to discuss. This is very early stage. So here to open your cloud account, So portal.azure.com. If you click on that, I already logged in. I already, my account is paid account actually. There is no difference services wise. It's working wise also. So this is edufulness@gmail.com. This is um, my ID for this account actually. So you will get familiar slowly within next week. You will get familiar each option. Okay, no worries at all. So this is the home page of the Azure cloud. Now, whatever we discussed, you can see that. These are my different services for different purposes I created recently used ones actually. So let it be. Now, like here, what are all dishes you are able to cook? So catering people should get ready with ready-madely in the menu card. Is it or not? So like that, you can see what are all Azure is going to provide the services. So when you click on more services, you can see these are all different services it is able to provide. So AI plus machine learning, these are all different services or tools or softwares ready-madely available for you. So you can use them, integrate them, connect them. So accordingly, you have to use it actually. Or analytics related, these are all different services. For example, for us, Data Factory, or here Azure Databricks, okay, or Synapse Analytics. So coming under analytics, 22 services it is offering. So in your project or basing on your requirement, what is required, you just install or use it, create it, and then use it. Nothing is going to install in your laptop. Everything is happening in the cloud only. That means physically at some place. Okay. Computation related. Okay. So these are all services. So containers related, databases, you can see how many it is offering. So SQL database is also there. So SQL database, SQL Server, all these things. So DevOps related, you can see what are all it is providing. So all category wise, have a look, just have a look. You no need to understand. And nobody is going to master all these things. That is not at all required. Okay. So only thing is you are Azure data engineer. For example, data engineer you are. So data engineering related services you should master. You should know how efficiently you have to use them. So that's what only. Okay. So that is what actually first of all cloud. Okay. So hope you understand this one clearly. Whoever is completely new, try to understand. Slowly we will come here for the data engineering related uh, whatever is required one by one we will create them actually. Okay. So tomorrow we will see. Now we will introduce it just cloud and portal of the Azure cloud. Then tomorrow we will see the hierarchy of the Azure cloud. That is common irrespective of your role in this particular cloud actually in the Azure cloud. Okay. So that is going to give you the lot of clarity in even when you go to the any real-time project. That is first of all you have to cross-check that only. That hierarchy tomorrow we will see, and we will create one small service in this Azure cloud actually. In that way every day we will see in this first week. As I told you, you no need to hurry to create the account Azure. Next week only you try to create it after the class. Meanwhile, our main concentration is SQL part, because by the time Data Factory we are going to start, SQL some basic discussion is done, so that SQL we are going to use in the Data Factory. So such a way it is created actually. So this is what the cloud. Okay. Any doubts? Any confusions here? Let me unmute you. Yeah.
No, Jit, clear.
Yep.
Yeah, we are good.
Right. Now let us move further. So now the SQL part, as we discussed yesterday. So come on, tell me how many clauses are there in the select statement?
6.
6.
Yeah, six. What are those?
Select I mean, from
Try to tell in the same order. That is always well and good. Okay.
from where?
So don't bother about others. You just you continue your flow. So that is always recommended. Okay. But sometimes for answers don't overlap. Okay. So anyhow, always response is really matter for your growth only. Okay. So try to utilize these classes for practicing how efficiently you are responding for every small or big question. Okay. Now in the select, so let us start with the basic discussion. Select a statement. So as usually this table we are going to use. Okay. EMP table. Yesterday we introduced 8 columns are there. 14 records are there. 14 tuples are there. 8 attributes are there. Hope terminology wise get familiar. So total 8 columns, 14 records we have. Okay. Are attributes, tuples. Okay. Now, how you will use the select statement? Very simple. Please mute. Yeah. So, see, always please ensure, please mute when I don't, if I don't ask any doubts. Okay. So now here you can see the select statement. So in the select statement, always we are mentioning the column names. And in the from table, in the from clause, you are mentioning table name actually. Okay. So now, for example, when you mention star, what will happen is all columns from that table you want in the output. So table name is EMP. So let us go to the SSMS screen. I will introduce you. Whoever is new, please listen. So here, this is the SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. And here you can see this hierarchy. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we will see database SQL server structure actually, or any database server structure. Okay. Uh, in this our database is FNDB. In that you can see the tables section. If you expand, these are all the tables I have in my database. Okay. So as yesterday told that from which table you need the data, that's what you are mentioning in the from class. So that's what here you can see, we can write down the queries. Select, okay, star from EMP. And always recommended is, always recommended, it's not mandatory. Every clause try to write down in separate line. Day one onwards, please try to practice like this. Okay. And always ensure that this window, this particular, like a tab in a Chrome or Firefox, okay, in a browser, how you have a tabs. Here also we have a tabs actually. So this tab is connected to which database is also matter. Tomorrow you will get the clarity, or day after tomorrow. So EFNDB is my database. Please ensure that. Now, this is what the select star from EMP. That means I need all the columns from this particular table. So how you can execute? Here you can see, click on this. Here is the output. So total 14 records. I will share you this table script, how to create and insert this data. Then you can practice similar manner. Then I need specific columns from this table from EMP. Then mention the column names in the select clause. So this is the 8 columns, right? So I want EMP number, E name, MGR. MGR is nothing but manager ID. So for example, employee number 7369 is the Smith. Smith manager ID is 7902. Where is 7902? He is under one of the employee. So 7902 is the Ford. So Smith manager name is Ford. So such a queries also we have, very important. So MGR is nothing but MG manager, sal is salary, COMM is commission, and department number, remaining things you can understand. So whatever columns you need, those columns only you can take in the select class. So that's what all the columns when you don't need, mention them separately. Even day one onwards, please try to practice. Even column names also, please try to keep in separate line. Because in real time, you are going to have a 100, more than 100 lines or 200 lines of one query will be there. When you have like that, in single line also you can write down a query. That is not at all a problem. It will execute, you can see. Okay. But it is not going to give you the clarity. So this is going to have a better visibility actually, instead of single line entire query. So try to have a habit like that. So like this individual columns, and it need not be in the same order also. I can keep in the first position salary and then remaining. You can see salary is this position, but still it will work. So in any order, when you are mentioning columns names specifically, you can keep it actually. That's what. Okay. So that is the first basic. Nothing is there. Just play with that. So when you put star, all columns you want in the output. When you mention specific column names, you are getting in the output only those columns data. Okay. That's what 3 columns. Of course, 14 records. That's what it is telling. Okay. So now in this, let us try to deep dive further. Very, very important. In your real time also, you will use very frequently this particular part. Okay. So that is distinct keyword meaning is what, and different insights in this. Okay. Come on here. Now what is select distinct keyword? As name implies, nothing is there. So distinct meaning is what is unique values. So definitely there may be some repeated values actually. So it is eliminating those repeated values, only single value it is returning from all repeated. For example, here if you take a department number. So you see under department number 14 values are there. In these 14, the 14 records means 14 values. 14 in the 14 values, 10 is one value, 20 is one, 30 is one, and repeated. You can see that. Okay, so that is what it is saying actually. I want only, suppose how many different departments are there I want. So you should not return 14 actually. You should return only 10, 20, 30. So 3 departments are there and multiple people are there in each department. That's what EMP is. So that is what actually it is eliminating always duplicate values. Then how you will use this distinct to get the different values? Simple. You see select, keep the distinct keyword just beside the select, then mention the column name, then normally table name. So let us see here practically. Always bring entire table data in front of you or sample data in front of you. That is going to give you the first of all flexibility to write a query. So that's what data is in front of us. Now you can see, as we mentioned, I need what are all different departments exist in the organization. Question is nowhere related to the table. You see, what are all different departments exist in the organization. So from this EMP table, you can tell that, right? Select. So as we told, distinct keyword, column name you mention beside that. From which table? Mention that, that is EMP. So now you see what is happening. This a distinct, so or before that if you see, select DEPT number, only DEPT number if you take, what will happen? Run this query. 14 records you are getting. Understood? Okay. Here, if I give 2 hyphens, it is a comments. So 14 records you are getting. It will not execute. Though if you include in the query, it is going to ignore by the compiler. Only this part it will take. So that's why color wise you can see. Okay. Now here, distinct when you include, only the difference between these two queries are what? Distinct keyword. So, but what is happening now? It is returning only different values, duplicates it is going to return. Eliminate, see that unique values it is returned. Now you can see both the queries outputs. You can select multiple queries at a time. You can run them at a time. You can see their outputs also at a time. Have a look. So first query output is first output, this one. Second query output is second one. So here there is no distinct 14 records. Here distinct is there, different values you got it. So like that, once again you can see on the another column. So this is entire data. Select. So give me total managers, how many exist in your managers list in your organization. Come on, who is related to that query? Which column is related to that?
MGR.
Huh?
MGR.
MGR. So in MGR, if you apply distinct, okay, you are going to get different manager IDs. Otherwise, you will get all 14 records. So see here. See, these are the different managers. But one more thing here is you are getting null. First of all, what is meaning of null? So first of all, null meaning is what actually is. It is not a zero. Many people will confuse. I seen in many interviews also people telling null means it's a zero. So that itself enough to decide how much knowledge they have actually. Okay. So null is not actually a zero. It is not at all related to zero. So for example, if you take this particular record, president, he is the main person in that organization. So he don't have any manager. So that means MGR column, it is not applicable for him actually. So you didn't inserted any data for him. So not applicable is one case. For example, here for the Smith, here also you have null, right? You can see yellow color. So for Smith, commission is null is there. Maybe meaning is his commission value at that time may not available. So you didn't inserted anything. So if for any column, for any record, if you don't insert, by default that is taking as a null. Maybe data not available at this moment or not applicable. So not applicable, this is best suitable. Even here also not applicable, you can tell. So he don't have any commission. So not applicable. You will not insert any data. Okay. Okay. So that is what first of all null. So here when you come to the distinct, okay, if you execute, null is also coming as a distinct actually. So we will discuss null related separately. Okay, in the upcoming discussions we will see. So anyhow, unique values you can see under the MGR column. Understand, right? Now similarly, if you take another column, so tell me total number of roles available in your organization. So what you will write? What are the different roles available in your organization? Which column is well suited for this query?
Job.
Job. Clerk is one role, salesman is one role, manager is one role, like that analyst is one role, president is one role. So you want to know all the roles of your company. So distinct you have to apply, not the simply job column you should not write. Got it right? Simply if you write job, all 14 it will return. So we don't need all 14, all different values we need. That's all. So if you run all these three, you can see the outputs on specific column. Okay. Now, so this is fine. Hope it is clear till now. First part of the distinct. Is it clear?
Fine. Yes.
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 Now let us see. Select the star from EMP. Whole data in front of us. Now I am writing one simple query, observe it, then answer it. Okay, what may be the output? That's what you need to guess. So your part is always more after some discussion is completed. Okay, from EMP. Yeah, now let us see. And if you want, I will keep all these outputs in front of you. Number of records in delay related to department number 3. MGR related total records are 7. Job related distinct values total value records are 5. 573 number. Okay. I am writing like this. Come on. What may be the output, or is there any syntax error or semantic error or error? So query is in front of you. I am writing multiple columns in the distinct actually. So how distinct is going to work? Is it on single column or multiple column, or simply tell me the output, how the output is going to come?
I think it will error out.
It
Okay.
will work on only single column.
Single.
Combination of a department number and the job.
It will work on the department.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you feel, always feel free. It's a good place to practice that part. Okay. But think before answering, whatever you learn, apply it and tell actually. Yeah, come on.
I will be having 5 records
Okay.
with a unique department number. The combination will be unique. Department number and the job combination will be unique.
Okay. So that's all right, all of you. So that's good. Please try to involve more, remaining also. Come on. What is going to happen is here. Okay. If I click on execute, okay, see here. Under department number, repetitions are there, but a distinct is telling unique. Under job also repetitions are there. You can see manager, 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 clerk, clerk. So think carefully. When you write after distinct keyword multiple columns, not just one column. When you write multiple columns, that is why you should be always strict to the basics of anything. Distinct is always returning unique values. Now, when you have multiple values, multiple columns, so their combination as a unique. 10 clerk combination you will never find in this list. See that. Combination. Same discussion is going to applicable in the upcoming discussion in group by, order by, in some more places we are going to observe that. Easily we will understand basing on this one. So you see 10 manager combination is never repeated. That is very important. So though under individual columns repetitions might be there, but it is distinct how it will work on the single column. If it is worked on single column, suppose department number 3 values it is returning and job is 14 records. How 3 and 14 records are going to map? It is invalid data it will generate. So distinct keyword is working on all the columns combination actually as a unique. Please mute after discussion. Don't forget that. Yeah. So you can see that any combination, it is unique actually. Hope it is clear, right? You can add one more also like MGR. See now maybe list will increase, but every combination is unique. So even under this, maybe some values might be repeated. 7698 is repeated. Okay. So like that, some values will repeat, but combination never going to repeat. So that is what distinct keyword very frequently, definitely you will use in your real time. So hope it is clear. Any confusions?
No.
Yeah. Okay, now come here. So that is what actually, that's just what we discussed job wise. And here, this one, multiple columns, how it will work, combination actually. Okay. So now, here again, if you see, if you further, let us take commission column from EMP. I am taking in single line, you don't follow. Select distinct commission from EMP. Come on, you can see I discussed. So here null is there, that also came in the output of the distinct MGR. And here commission, under commission, how many not null values are there? Come on, tell me. Under commission column.
4,
4 values.
What about 0?
including 0, 4.
Exactly. So 0 is not a null. Take it as a number only. Okay, he don't have any commission confirmed. So there are 4 not null values are there. That means 10 null values are there. When you run this, so that's what, if you run only commission this query, only that column data you have. Now I am running distinct commission. How many rows it is returning in the output?
5.
So all nulls going to treat as one null.
Yes.
10 nulls are there. All 10 it is going to, is it going to treat as one null?
Yes.
So exactly see that. Okay. So null handling is really matter for us. In interviews also, with a simple data, 2-3 rows only will be there. They will give a simple query. That's more than enough to assess how good you are in the SQL. Okay. So like that, there are many interesting topics. Joins is one of the mandatory, definitely in the interviews, people will touch. If you are logically good or not, the people can assess very easily with the group by class, having clause or joins with a simple data only. You don't need to have hundreds or thousands of records. Okay. So slowly try to understand each concept. And null handling also we will see one by here and there. Slowly you will master the null related things also. Because null handling is definitely part of your transformation related or cleaning related. Yeah. So that's what distinct. Hope it is clear. Just a minute. Okay. So now what we will see is, since we have a time, we will see Azure structure actually, which is very important. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Because where class group by all these things will take one class actually. So I don't want to discuss them now. So we are going to see Azure account related thing, which is very, very important. Listen carefully. Okay. So you are going to create a Azure account. Okay. So when you create a Azure account, you are going to have your username and password. Your username, okay, and password. So this is calling as, so Microsoft Entra ID. Okay. So you will see all these terminologies inside a Azure actually cloud here and there. So for any client, if you are doing any project or already existing project, when you come to the Azure account, so the immediate thing under the account you are going to observe is what you are going to observe is subscription. Okay, you are going to observe subscription. So what you are creating is actually maybe free subscription. Whatever that, if it is free, only subscription is possible. So in real time, under one account, you can create multiple subscriptions. Okay, you will understand all these things, no worries, one by one. Subscription 2, subscription 3. Okay, so like that, you can create multiple. Why multiple? We will come to that one by one. Under one subscription, what you are going to have further is you are going to have a resource group. What is this? We will see. Resource group 1 means multiple resource groups you can create. Okay, multiple resource groups you are going to create. Under one resource group, what you are going to have further? So you are going to have group, you are grouping something. What you are grouping? Resources. Resources is nothing but what? Whatever you see in the dishes of the catering people. Each category, each dish is one resource. So Data Factory in the cloud Azure is one resource, one service. SQL Server is one service, Databricks is one service, Data Lake or Blob is one service. So ADF is one service, SQL Server is one service, or Data Lake is one service, Databricks is one service, like that. So whatever services you are going to create, that should come under one of the resource group. Whatever resource group you are creating, that should come under one of the subscription. So like that, in each resource group, so simply some set of resources you are grouping with some name, that's all. Okay, so that's what. So why I took 3 also I will tell you. So now this is what, first of all, hierarchy I am talking. All these things you are going to feel now onwards whenever you go to the Azure portal. Okay. Now, very important thing is under one account, okay, we discussed multiple subscriptions, and each subscription, why multiple? Each subscription billing is separate. Okay, and how much you use here, that bill you have to pay separately. And then further is each subscription, why multiple subscriptions required is sometimes, okay, in your client. So ultimately this is client account only. So client created account, under that multiple why required is that client may have multiple projects. So for each project he is maintaining separate subscription. That's what, first of all, very important. So you are deployed in that, for that client, one of the projects. So this is what. So your working area is this one. So now you are strict to this. You are at here, now very important for us. So in future we will discuss clearly, but now this is the overview. Under one subscription, we are going to have multiple resource groups. So now coming to the actual discussion is resource group. When you take here, okay, in any project, whatever that project, need not be data engineering, any development or front end, back end, anything, you are going to have a development environment. So you need one set of resources to do development, and what you developed that you need to test. So same set of resources should be available for testing purpose also. So there will be a testers, right? UAT team. So for UAT, another resource group, our naming names also we will use accordingly in our discussion, in upcoming discussion. So including names also, how you will keep in real time is matter for us now. So Once it is tested properly, if everything is okay, that is going into the live actually. So client is going to see there live only, client will see. So where you are deploying this this tested all piece of code or whatever you developed, that is in the production. So production also should be have same set of resources with the same configuration. So these environments you might experience it everywhere. So dev environment will be there, UAT environment will be there, prod environment will be there. What data factory here you have? Same data factory here and here you are going to have. What SQL you have here? What configuration capability? So cores or dead RAM size, whatever you selected, same thing you will maintain here. Maybe in the production some more extra you may have, that depends again. But all the resources what you have here also you have. Now you can see pack of resources is nothing but one group. By seeing that group, you can understand, okay, this is dev environment, this is UAT or this is prod. So this is what first of all. So all three environments we are going to create. Then what you developed here, code, resources are ready to work. Now development, in the development you did some developer did something. So data migration related pipelines he created. Then he want to move that to the UAT actually. So that code he want to move to the UAT. Then once it is tested, that code he want to move to, if everything is okay with proper permissions, you are moving to the production. If something is wrong, some test case is failed, then it will revert back to dev, that particular resource. So this is what. Then this code movement means what? Suppose something I developed here, some code I developed here. So one thing is what? You can move, you can give hand over this code to the this UAT team through mail, that code. He will place it here and then he will run it all the test cases. So manually moving actually. So that is always not recommended. You want to make this automate. What developments here happen that you want to reflect in the UAT. So for that, CI/CD actually there. CI/CD pipelines you are going to create. Continuously integration, continuous development. So you will take up one project, you will start somewhere. So you are developing and testing and deploying in the production. The next requirement on the same thing, developing, testing, and then deploying. That's what continuously integration is happening, continuously development is happening. What code changes is happening in every environment. If you want to move to another environment, this is what you are going to do. CI/CD pipelines automation is going to done. So this is not our task. This is DevOps engineer is going to take care. So in the starting of the project, by understanding our structure, he will create this CI/CD pipelines. We will use those CI/CD pipelines to move the code from one environment to another environment. So that is what first of all. So exactly these things you will see in your real time also. Okay. So this is what first of all very important we should know. So here main concentration is hierarchy wise, you should be get familiar. Since anyhow we are discussing this hierarchy, so this is also part of your real time. Okay, as I told you, here and there real time related some things we will see. So if you have any doubts, this is what first of all, hope it is clear. Any doubts, feel free to ask.
So here, for a one project, we have one subscription, right? But there could be the case that dev resources, maybe we have used it and now it's no longer required, or we don't need to push it something in UAT because those got created as a part of development, some analysis or some research purpose. We don't want to move that ahead. So wouldn't be is a nice idea to create a subscription different as per the environment. Like for dev we can maintain different subscription, UAT we can have different, and then
No, for
we can look
day.
at the billings as per that environments rather
Yes,
than
yes,
having
that is
project level
possible.
subscription.
Yes, possible. Yes. That is possible. Just this is what frequently happening. So each environment in different subscriptions you can maintain and you can integrate them in this case. Okay.
Mhm. And how about plan types? Can you talk about it? How we can have different plan types for different environments?
Yeah,
Subscription plan types.
so plan types, you see, there is plan type means that depends on purely resource, what you are using. Okay. So that's what actually, that is one of our regular habit discussing in the class also. So let me show you one simple thing here. Just a minute, let me share. See, maybe next week I will start discussing that. For example, if you go to the home, see, what a plan type means, I guess you are talking about billing part, is it?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
for dev we can have different plan type, and obviously for prod and
Exactly.
UAT we can have better
Correct.
configuration. We can have highly scaled servers, things like that.
Yes. That's what I mentioned here also. Maybe in the prod you may have a high configuration related things, okay? If it is required. So here you see always billing is basing on the resource you are using actually. So every day in our class also, in the whenever you start discussing the purely Azure, actually, we will go to the billing subscription. So every day it is your duty to monitor what is happening in your billing. So plan type means basing on the resource what you are using. So for example, if you try to create a SQL database, okay. So SQL database, I'm I will introduce you how to create all these things basing on your question. I'm just showing quickly. So specific to SQL database only, you have to decide how much you want to keep basing on your amount of data you have. So for example, here, go to the configuration of this particular database. Click on this. So you know already how much amount of data you have. Okay. How frequently data every day, how much it is generating, so that how computation wise, how frequently queries you are raising on that database. So basing on all these things, see, pricing is going to vary. So basing on the different plans what you are selecting, and you know already how many cores you want to use in the background. So accordingly it is giving the estimation. So this is what actually different plan types, resource wise only you are good. That's what in the project one of the parties you are going to give the estimation to the client that in each month for this purpose this much bill may generate. Okay. So you can see basing on the selection of this particular resource configuration, billing is estimation is going to vary. So what is your requirement? Accordingly, we will select on that particular resource. Okay. Then consolidatedly all these resources what you need. Then this resource may be this much, this resource may be this much. You will submit. Then that you are submitting to the client estimation. Okay.
Mhm. Is there any practice or some tool available to create that? Let's say we are using Databricks, we are using SQL Server, and we are aware that this what the services we have to consume as a part of project implementation. And now we have to create some estimation. We need to provide that to account manager to get the approval before creating resources. And we can definitely create some Excel and we can provide that. But in order to get that details, is there any tool or how do it like? How it
In
is
my
efficient
knowledge,
for us to calculate that.
we didn't see any tool actually. Maybe there or may not be there. Okay. We used to give basing on the their requirement. Okay. First of all, you have to understand their databases, how the data frequently generating, how already existing, and basing on the logics complexity you are doing. So we will go for different configurations. Then basing on our previous projects knowledge and how each resource is giving. So such a way manually we are providing till now.
Okay, so that's gonna be manual activity. That's okay. Yeah, thanks.
Maybe there, but I'm not sure that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Hey, Achit, one quick question. Off of the same thing, like, let's say your actual on-premise database is SQL Server and you're moving to cloud. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have Azure SQL Server and like SQL Server. Like, are you going to touch base on like which one to choose when you're migrating? What are the pros and cons? Those kind of things.
So your question is like in the on-premise you have a SQL Server and in the cloud also you have a SQL Server, is it?
Yeah, you have SQL Server on cloud as well. You have Azure SQL database, different kinds of databases, right? So like which one do you going to opt like when you move to cloud? Like, what are they going to gain when they move to a different sort of database when they go from on-prem to cloud?
See, in the on-premises side, anyhow, the database is fixed, whatever that may be MySQL or the SQL Server, whatever. Okay, that you cannot do anything. So your question is like in the cloud, which particular database technology you will recommend? Is your question?
Yes.
So obviously, most of the times what we used is in the SQL side, in the cloud side, Azure SQL Server only we used instead of other databases, because SQL Server is actually a Microsoft product only. So definitely there are a lot of compatible things directly you can use them actually. Okay. So uh, in almost all the projects, okay, we used SQL Server only in the cloud side for maintenance purpose or as a main database.
Okay.
Yeah. Maintenance means maintenance main database, whatever that means, whatever on-premise data that is directly loading into the cloud SQL Server. Maintenance means actually sometimes so maybe data you are moving into the storage account. So in the form of files only you are moving. Then from there to API maybe you are moving. At that time also you need a maintenance database uh, for different purposes actually, for incremental load storages, so log related information. So this kind of things we need a database always. So minimal configuration database you will take in the cloud. That is SQL Server always. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, if you don't have any doubts, always again and again I'm saying, feel free to ask any doubts. So tomorrow also please try to attend the class. We will continue. So tomorrow we will create a resource group in the Azure cloud. That's what the Azure part. And tomorrow we will see very important analytics related concept in the SQL side, which you will use very frequently either in the PySpark, Databricks or in the SQL side or sometimes in the Data Factory also. So let us try to master it. We will discuss from the scratch. Don't miss that class. Okay. So thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye.